Welcome back, everyone, to the third episode of Conqueror Chronicles. We've got a full round table once again here. I'll be co-hosting this. I'm Phoenix from Grin Scythe. I have with me Vivian
Hi,
as my co-host.
I'm the other
Uh,
one.
that's exactly it. And you're on a team this season, right? A warrior
hmm
team.
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm,
perfect.
I'm
Here we
with
go.
Nanner Grippers.
Nanner Grippers. I love that name. And then we also have Mango from Jackson 5, Jzar from. Oh, jeez. I'm a bad host. It's SMD, right? Is that
Yeah, it
the?
says suck my dick. Nine.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, is
Oh,
that not
nice,
it?
perfect,
Ah,
perfect, beautiful. And then we also have Riley from Savage Spirits here.
Hello.
So I wanted to start it off here by going to the teams that I think are a little lesser known. I mean, obviously Savage has been around for a while. I think you guys have kind of always had a roughly similar roster composition, but for me at least, I've only done about 4 seasons now. So for Jzar and Mango, I have no idea who you guys are, and I don't really know a lot of your team composition very much at all, actually. So Mango, if I could start with you, do you mind just go walking us through your team a little bit? How did it form? How are you guys feeling in the season? What do you think your chances are? Stuff like that.
Yeah. So, I have been around in AD2L actually since season 6, but I've been on a short hiatus. And this is my first season back in I think 2 seasons, and just meandered my way onto Jackson 5 as a free agent. They were kind of like a little friend stack already, so the four of them were all already friends. And yeah, so we just kind of culminated together. They brought me on as mid. We got two mangoes on the team. We got like we are like so far under like the badge threshold. It's actually insane, but like I think it's actually a relatively solid stack with like pretty good players in each position and pretty good like mental and like very good like it's very hard to like tilt my team, and they get along really well. So I don't know, it's fun for me. I'm not super competitive. So I enjoy like an environment like this team where I'm able to just like chill, have fun, talk shit, and you know, have a good time with it. Don't take it too seriously, but still like, make sure we're trying to win. But yeah, no, I think we actually have a pretty good shot at winning things. We played maybe like one game as a 5 stack before like we actually ever played a season or a league match. And so I'd say some of our slow starting would probably be attributed to that. We just haven't really had much chance to culminate together. But we're getting that experience in, and I mean, for those of who might have seen our results against the slow twitch muscle fibers, who everybody expected to wipe the floor with us, we were able to pull a game out, and so I feel like you kind of tell that we're starting to intermingle and become better, and putting some strats together. I mean, well, this week we actually had two people out, so we did have a couple stand-ins, but I did the drafting and captaining this week, and everything went good, and it felt great, and we had fun.
That's perfect. And you know what I gotta say here too? Mango is my favorite fruit. So the fact that there's
Hell yeah.
two of you guys on that one team, I think that's huge. I think you got to get a fruit buff there for sure.
It is
Um,
massive.
it's massive. It's massive. Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool though. It's always interesting with these friend stacks because I feel like sometimes the friend stacks can really punch above their weight. Like obviously on the calc, like you mentioned, you guys are a little low for sure, but I mean, tying the IPA stack, I think is pretty good. I think the game that you guys won was pretty dominant too, if I remember correctly. So
Yeah,
I think that's a
yeah.
pretty good showing. And then I think Pool Pals, obviously with the tie, is pretty good. Zealous, I mean, there was the draft issue, right? So I'm not gonna. I wouldn't say it's a
Yeah,
fraudulent O2, but I think that there's a caveat to that
there's a,
O2.
there's a, there's an
So
asterisk. There's definitely an
yeah,
asterisk to it, and it's just like an asterisk where it's like, you know, there's a bit of a high road and a low road, and they happen to take the low road. So,
that,
you
you
know,
know what? And you just hate to see that. You hate to see
yep,
that.
it
And
happens.
I will later get your opinion on your next week matchup, but before we do that, I just want to jump over to Jzar next, actually, if that's okay. Am I saying your name right, by the way?
Yeah, it's good.
Perfect. Okay. So same thing for you. When like I said before, have no idea who you are, don't really know anyone on your team. You guys look low on the calc as well. So what's going on there? How'd you guys form? How are you doing? How you feeling for the season, and stuff like that?
My team sucks, man.
All right.
Oh,
No, actually, they're all right. They're all right. But we're basically 4 friends plus Wild Daddy. That's basically what's going on.
isn't Wild Dad not a part of the Friends?
Fuck
Oh yeah,
Wild Daddy.
I guess he is. I guess. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's exciting. Did you guys just like randomly just decide to add Wild Daddy on then? You just like last minute kind of throw the invite or?
Yeah. I played with Wild Daddy like I don't know a couple times now. We're in Warrior. Were you in Warrior like 2 seasons ago, Phoenix?
I think I was actually.
We
Yeah,
might
I
have played
think it
you at
was.
some point in the final there. Were you on Grin Scythe?
I was on Grin Scythe 2 seasons ago. You might have actually. I don't know if we made it to the final, so I think we got knocked in the semis. I want to say. Which team were you on?
Wild Daddy's team.
Oh, I don't know the
That's
name. But
usually
yeah,
like a
that.
daddy's dictatorship kind of.
Oh, it's possible then. I'm not sure to be honest with you, but
Okay, yeah, we lost in the finals to a Grin Scythe last time I played Warrior. So I didn't know if you were part of that or what, but
yeah, it's possible, but yeah, probably not. I think in this exact
oh yeah,
instance,
I
but
feel like you'd
yeah.
remember winning, so probably not.
No, yeah, I would probably remember winning, so probably not.
Yeah.
But for this season though, how you guys feeling? Your chances are this season so far.
I'm feeling good, man.
All
Feel pretty
right.
good about it. I mean, kind of just doing what we want to do, playing some Dota. I think we'll creep into playoffs, and I think we'll make a run.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful. Well, same thing with Mango to you. We'll talk about your next week matches, but I think for your current matchups, if I remember correctly, I think you 2-0'd Pool Pals, and I think you tied Animal Enclosure, if I remember correctly. I don't remember who was standing, or was that the full Animal Enclosure roster? Actually, was that pre
Yeah,
Valor?
that was before they disbanded or whatever. I don't really know what happened there, but
Okay, yeah. And then you did get 2-0'd by Zealous, but Zealous has been on a bit of a hot streak for sure. So I think there's
yeah.
probably no shame in that.
Mm, Game
The
1 was a
villains.
good game. Actually, we were winning game 2 as well, but sometimes my
Happen.
team is weak mental, and what can you do? They
What
know
can
they're
you do?
bums.
Oh, what can you do about that, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I know Riley. We already had someone from Savage on before, but
Yes.
if you want, obviously, give your opinion on how you think the season's going so far for you guys. I know you guys have had a really good rebound, obviously, after getting 2-0'd by my team the first week. You guys have gone on to win 4 consecutive in a row. So, how you
Yes,
feeling about
sir.
that?
I'm feeling pretty good. Our series last week was a little rough, where we found ourselves in falling behind, but we were able to rally together and kind of play the map better, and ended up getting the 2-0. It's pretty nice.
Beautiful. Okay, great. Yeah. I watched I watched a little bit of your matchups as well. Um, I will say that the first game felt like a really good Benny performance. I feel like he was super. There was one point I was watching, and I think he was 10k net above e- either of the other cores. I was like,
Jeez.
holy moly, this guy is like going huge right now. But that was definitely a pretty close game. Second game, it seemed like you guys were really dominant, really confident in that second game. Kind of just won from the start, I think.
The second game we came out of the laning stage pretty rough.
Okay,
But we're pretty confident in letting Benny do his thing, so we just held on until he was ready to come and carry the game.
perfect. Yeah, well, that's good, and yeah, he's definitely had a lot of really good performances. I think in the series that we played against him, I think he looked really sharp as well. So that's always good when your pause one's getting into the swing of things for sure. So
Hmm.
um yeah, for sure. So I know for next week matchups, because that's obviously hot on the mind here. Jzar, actually, let's start with you. You guys are going against me here. So
Oh,
how
shit.
do you feel your chances are? What are you thinking about for this
Well,
matchup?
that's now I know.
All right. Yeah, now you know. Surprise.
Let's see. Your Grin Scythe. The last Grin Scythe I played against, fucking, they sat high ground real good. Hmm. It could be hard. It's hard to break high ground.
I think you give Wild Daddy that Night Stalker mid,
Oh God.
smile, have him draw the game out 80 minutes.
I don't know. Whatever I give Wild Daddy, he'll fuck it up somehow. Doesn't
I
really
love that.
matter. Just pick a hero.
I love that. I love that. Wow. Okay. I mean, yeah, I will say like I said I know very little about SMD, so from my perspective at least, I think it'll be an interesting matchup. I also didn't mention how we were looking after the last week, so I'll briefly touch on that as well. But we did 2-0 our last week. We were against the Krill Eaters. I felt it was pretty comfortable actually in both games. It was kind of reminiscent to Savage, where I'm surprised that they let us get like the same three heroes back to back. We kind of won with this first pick Sand King that we flexed, and then we comboed that with like the Warlock, and I forget the other hero, but it was a pretty convincing, I think, performance both weeks or both games rather. I think that we were in a better headspace in those matches for sure. And I think that we've unlocked a way to use Lambert, I think, a little better. I think that the first 2 weeks we were kind of not playing around him the way that we should be, and I think that last week we put him on only Lifestealer, but I think it worked better with the lineup. So I'm kind of confident. I'm pretty happy moving forward. I think we got a pretty good chance, and I'm interested to see how we do against SMD. Actually, it
Yeah,
should be a
yeah.
very interesting matchup. I don't know anything about you guys, so I think it's always interesting when I play a team that I know very little about, because anything can happen. Anything can happen, you know. And actually,
Gonna
Vivian,
be.
I completely skipped you actually before too, but how are you? How do you think your team is doing this season as well? Because I know that this is mostly a conk pod, but I mean, obviously you are an active player, so if you want to talk about how your team's doing, I think it's only reasonable.
Dude, I'm going back to pause for the next season. This sucks.
Okay, all right,
I fucking
elaborate.
hate pause 3.
All right.
I'm bad,
Yeah.
dude. I'm washed. I'm having like with all due respect to and this is no flame at all with what I'm about to say, so I'm sorry ahead of time. You know how like for most of the start of the season, both Chev and Phoenix, or not Phoenix, Chev and Rhino were both like, I'm washed, I'm like not doing great, like I'm just bad at the game. And they're both fucking not. They're both just having bad seasons at worst right now. I'm having like a bad life. Like I cannot play Pause 3. I'm griefing my team's games and I feel so bad.
You gotta be like a certain type of person to enjoy that fucking
I,
position.
I want to like Pause 3, but I'm not like good at any of the heroes that are good right now.
You gotta be really into like,
It's like
just being some guy that likes to either buy auras or buy blink dagger. So
I do both, and you know
Or
what?
both, yeah.
I
yeah,
I die, and then my team dies, and I'm just sitting there with my hand raised on a gray screen. I just like I kind of accept it, you know.
It's got to be the return to the four. It's got
I
to be the return to the four.
we won one this week, but it's definitely I think a problem with how because I started off Dota as a Pause 3 player, believe it or not, and then I kind of moved towards support when I started taking it seriously. And like the D patch especially, because we're gonna talk about that later. I mean, it killed Centaur. It fucking hurt Centaur really bad. Sand King is still like okay, And those two heroes, I was really hoping they'd backpack me until next number patch, and now they can't. So
So what's good now? What do you think is good now? What's the move?
I think Visage. I mean, Visage is still good, even with the one nerf. I think Beastmaster is okay now that it's not just the offlaner you play has to build like 3 bracers and then uplink and then aura. Yeah, you kind of actually have to think about the items you buy and which order you buy them because you're not gonna have 30 strength and a bunch of armor by minute 25.
I don't know a ton about offlane, but I know that my one friend that's top 600 NA said that he thinks Magnus and Beast is going to be really good
Yeah,
because he said they were like not very touched with the patch, and he thought they were already like semi strong in the last patch. So he thought that they had a pretty good chance of being good upcoming.
they're
So I think
strong.
that is
They've been strong. They just didn't have like you buy 3 bracers on them and it doesn't make them strong in the same way that it does for Centaur or for Sand King or for these heroes that jump into a fight and live through like everything just because their health pool's massive. They get stats. Like it doesn't it now matters more in a way that it didn't before.
yeah. Yeah, for sure, for sure. And while we are talking about the D patch, I love that, but I was gonna wait for a little bit later to do that. I wanted to kind of go back to the next week matchup, and it's been a while since I heard from Mango here. So Mango, you're playing Animal Enclosure next
Yep.
week, I believe, or this upcoming
This upcoming.
Thursday. Yeah. So I mean, it's a little interesting because that team's a little bit of a revolving door right now.
Yep.
What are you kind of feeling for this matchup coming up? Are you nervous? Do you think you're gonna win? How you feeling?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it doesn't take like a rocket. Like, listen, I love Heartrun. Heartrun's one of like my favorite people in AD2L. I was his first captain when he joined AD2L, and like, great guy. All respect to him. But it took them bringing in the best carry in all of Conqueror and like Talus, and took them bringing in a couple guys to get one win off from like a bottom of the barrel team.
Woo!
And
All
I
right.
mean, and I mean, I don't know, maybe they pull something together. Maybe they're able to get some new guys in this next upcoming week. I don't know. We'll have to see who they end up bringing in. But I don't know. I'm not super concerned. They got great individual players, but it doesn't seem like as a team they've really been able to pull it together yet. Um, Whereas I feel like Jackson 5, I feel like we have been able to pull it together as a team now. So I'm not super concerned about it. I know what hero pools we're working against very well. And yeah, I think we should be able to manage a pretty easy 2-0 in this one and keep working our way back up towards that playoff spot.
The real question is, can he salvage this shit?
It's true. It's true. I feel like this is a hard task. It also feels weird to me, like, I don't know. I'm not really sure of like the politics behind it, but it feels strange that like it's just rescheduled games and then pulling other active players from teams to stand in. It just feels a little strange to me because it's like
Yeah.
I don't know. It just feels weird, but
Yeah, and I mean, I don't blame them. Like, it's not necessarily their fault of what occurred, but like on the same page, you also gotta like, I don't know. You got to figure something out at some point. You can't just keep going every week with like new stand-ins.
yeah,
Not
like
really fair to the team that you're playing against every week because no one can ever really formulate a strategy or an understanding of what your team is when every week your team is different.
it's also weird for
Um,
playoffs. I feel like, right? Because it's like like if you make playoffs by using essentially active players, it feels weird because then playoffs come around and it's like you got two completely new players that I don't. It feels a little fraudulent in a way, but
yeah.
you actually touched on something that I wanted to talk about because obviously you don't have to go too far into it, but there was that whole trauma there on the animal enclosure side there where I mean it seems like it's pretty public knowledge, but it seems like Amir asked Benny to stand in,
Mm-hmm.
which he agreed to do. He did the draft. He did the scouting. He also asked Kilauea to do it, right?
Yeah.
Then last minute, Kilauea accepts it. He kicks Benny aside, takes the draft notes. Obviously, those still drafts. They barely win with it. Now, in one
Yeah.
way, okay, I told Amir this. I said, in one sense, I appreciate the ruthlessness in which you just like just pushed Benny aside to take the player that you thought was better. But
Yep.
in the other way, I'm like, I don't know, dude. I don't know if I would do that. Like that seems a little bit
No, I mean
harsh.
it's super W hungry, and I know I'd seen Vivian made a comment about my comment and Conk chat referring to this as a beer league. I do see this as a beer league. I mean, obviously you have the people who do take it really seriously, and it's typically the younger crowd who do like feel like they're playing for the fucking World Cup here. And and they will do that. They will kick Benny so that they could get the better player and secure the win. Or you'll have the people who will refuse to like remake a lobby so that you're at a disadvantage. Just shit like that. You do have the younger people in this league still who are like that, and you will consistently see that it's the older crowd, the people who have been AD2L for a while, who will typically actually make those like more fun accommodations when you're playing. Rather than being W hungry, they're more fun hungry, which is cool and great. And we have a odd balance of the W hungry people and the fun hungry people.
All I'm saying is $5 off a $25 prize pool can't buy you friendship, but good manners will.
Exactly. And I don't know, it's something that I've really like thought about because like I said, I've been playing since season 6. I've been playing AD2L for 9 years. I'm 25 now. So I started playing AD2L when I was like 16 years old. And like and back then I wasn't, I'm not going to sit here and act like I wasn't like one of those like edgy kids who was like, like talking shit in chat and stuff like that. Cause I definitely was. I was a teenager, but on the same page, it's like it's very easy to reflect on that and be like, hey, I was really just worried about like focused on having fun for myself and not for the fact that like everybody else, there's 9 other people in the lobby who are also trying to have fun. And like, it's pretty shitty if like you're just not considering anyone else trying to have fun in a league where you might win $5. I don't know.
That's a good point. I was gonna see if anyone else had a differing opinion or not, because like I said, in one hand, I appreciate in a way his ability to be ruthless and like, okay, you know what, this is the best chance. This is what my team needs to make playoffs. But on the other sense, it's like, I don't know, dude. Like, if you told
Yeah.
somebody you could do it, you gotta just do it. I'm not sure if Riley
Did-
or Jzar have a different opinion, but I'd love to hear from them on that.
Did he ask Benny to do the prep work?
My understanding is that he did. I'm not sure. I think Riley might know more than me, obviously, but my understanding is that I think he did.
I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
If that is the case, then it's pretty cooked. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And the best part too is I don't know like how known it is, but after the guy kicked Benny, he also was like, "Hey, like, can you sit in like Discord and like one of us will share a screen and you draft for us still?"
Oh.
And the Benny's like, "No, if I'm not fucking played, then I'm not drafting for you." What the fuck?
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That is kind of wild.
And then just keep in mind, he also told Benny to his face that he only did it because he thought Kilauea was better.
Yeah. Yeah,
That is
it's
wild.
pretty wild.
That's wild shit.
And I mean, he
Yeah.
is. Listen, I'll be the first to say it. He is better. I do think Will is the best carry in Conqueror, like I said.
Oh, 100%.
He might be the best player in all of Conqueror
So
in
this-
general, but like,
This is kind of why I wanted to bring it up, because it's tricky, because this is no flame to Benny. Like I think he's been amazing on Savage. I think he's a very good player, but I do think that Kilauea he's looked like the best carry. That's the reason why I'm saying that, because it's like it in a way it's a bit of a tough call probably to someone that really wants to win, because obviously it's like, I mean, if you have someone that's probably the best carry, at least KDA wise, the best carry for sure, right? It's hard to reject that, but I will also say, if you're gonna do that kind of scummy move, I feel like you have to 2-0, dude. I don't know, like you have to win the series at least, dog.
Yeah.
Ain't no way you could just
or
tie.
at least just like not make it ugly, because like the one win that they did get was ugly. Like
Oh,
it
it was
was tight.
scrappy. It was so
It was,
scrappy.
and it
And
shouldn't have been.
and the crazy thing is that the only reason they even won that second game is because Kiliua had an insane KDA. Once
Yep.
again, he went like 19-5, and he
Yep.
drafted both games. Like, oh,
Yeah. No,
I don't know. It
he
just
went
feels
nasty. He
weird.
played nasty. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he went absolutely huge. But anyway, moving past that, I don't want to dwell too much on the drama. But Riley, for Savage, you guys are playing against a team that I'm a believer of.
Oh, so
Listen,
I'm taking.
I am a believer of the fan
Phoenix.
club. These
I'm
guys.
halting you. I'm taking over now.
Okay.
I'm
All right,
taking
halt
over
me,
now.
halt me. Put me in my
Oh.
So
place.
here's my stake in this.
Okay.
I've cut ties effectively with Savage, with Gab and Benny.
Okay. It's gonna get
Over,
fun.
Yeah.
one of the last conversations I had with Gab Print was that there was offense taken that in my first spreadsheet, which I don't keep up with anymore, that's never coming out again. But with the first one that came out, I put MHKFC above Savage. Very offended that I did that. And I believe there was something said among the lines of, you put a team with an Archon above us.
Whew.
So,
All right.
here's my question, Riley. Because you just beat a team with an
What's
Immortal
up?
on it. With,
What's up?
with,
Caleb Spark, yeah.
yeah. So, I want to know not only how you think next week is going to go, I want to know what you think will happen if you don't win.
For how it's gonna go, I don't know. It's kind of just like I think any team can win. I think any team can lose. Like I don't think it really matters rank wise. Like I know like you can put like Dirge for example. Like Dirge can be considered sandbagged, but fucking I played against Dirge in AD2L and he beat an Immortal 340 both times. So like I don't think like rank really matters that much. I think kind of just who kind of shows up to play that day. What happens if we lose? I don't pay attention to the AD2L community because it's toxic as fuck, and I think most of the people here are losers, who are like terminally online and spend too much time in it when they're at work.
Say it out loud for the people in the back.
I mean, it's so true. It's like I
It
just
is unfortunately true.
So like the only time I like ever pay attention is like when I'm pinged, and it's usually by like Vivian or Frost or Gav or Benny, and then I'll look. But like for the most part, I don't give a shit. I don't like. I don't know how Benny and them will react to it. We might be a little salty about losing to a team with a low rank player, but personally, I don't really care.
That's more or less the answer I wanted.
That's you know what? That's the most honest answer I feel like I can give. But I do feel like your matchup in particular, I feel like is really interesting because I feel like Savage kind of bounced back from that first week stumble to 4 games that I think were fairly convincing. Quite honestly, I feel like you guys played really well in all 4 of your games. Whereas the fan club, I feel like they've been really dominant. I mean, they absolutely destroyed us. Like just crushed us. And I got to say this guy that's the Archon that Gav took offense to. This guy's the best Archon I've ever seen in my
He's pretty
life.
correct.
Like I'm just going to be honest with you. I think he's the best Archon player I have ever seen. He's
Yeah.
very good. And even Chandler 9 for a legend, he plays very well. I think they all play very well. From laning against Ranger, their mid laner. No flame to him, obviously. I respect that entire team. I do think that Gav should wipe the floor with him. I think he's probably one of their weaker players. And I do think that Gav is a very good mid. So I'm interested to see how that goes, because if I'm proved wrong, hey, you know what? Happy to be proved wrong, but
Mhm.
I think it should be an interesting matchup. I'm expecting a tie, is what I would say. If I was a bit more of a fan of the fan club, I might even go 2-0. I think for what you were saying, Vivian, I think that after playing them, I am not surprised for people that put them above Savage this season. I think they played very clean in all the games they won. I think they played very, very clean. That's for sure. But to continue along here, obviously, Vivian, you have a matchup next week as well. And how do you think that's going to go for you?
I don't even know who it's against.
You don't even know who it's again. Oh my god, you're fully checked out.
It's against
fully
Nameless.
fucking
That's Greybush. I think we scrimmed them, and I think they O2'd us.
Okay.
Or I think we either won them or they O2'd us. I can't remember. What I will say is, and I think my team is learning it slowly too, is that you kind of just got to give me my heroes. If I ask for something, you just have to give me it. If you try to force me to play something, or just like kind of numb me down to a... Pretty much, if you say no to 5 of my heroes in a row, I'm just going to tell you to pick my hero for me, and then I'm going to feed, because it's not a hero that, like, I'm ready to play. And that's a consistency amongst every season that I played. Fucking 40-50, Sun wouldn't give me my techies, and then we lose grand finals. I'm just saying, Savage, they give me my techies, we win season 37. Season 40, I don't get my heroes. We lose.
Very interesting. Okay, so it seems like comfort is the name of the game here for
little
you here.
When you have a shitty offlaner, just give me what I can play.
That is true though, and I think that you see that in a lot of drafts. Like I'm not sure if anyone else has noticed that, but I feel like if teams can kind of anticipate or expect that they think the enemy team has a weaker player, you do find that player gets banned out a lot. I find, anyways. Or if they're a very competitive player, and like a very, very good, like you think they're very high skill, that hero or that player seems to also get banned out a lot as well. Like I know with Hexy, it seems like people ban the fuck out of his heroes, but I think it's because like a lot of people respect his heroes, right? But
well, like that's
I don't know.
a whole thing,
Shit
and
has changed since season 39.
you know, much respect to the 4 of you in here, because you're all in Conk, and you're all playing your little hearts out. I just want to say, sorry, Phoenix, there is no world where Revamp should ever get Witch Doctor in these drafts.
I'll write that down.
I'm sorry. There is no reason why you should give give him. It's not even like a successful hero for him. He has a high win rate in it with his pro games, but he's played it so much.
Well, you know what's weird actually? What I will mention is that so when MHK beat us, I think it was very interesting that the way they played against us, I think, is the best way to play against a team in the sense of they anticipated the heroes that we would play. They left me Viper in the pool. They left me my DK. They expected that I was going to pick both of those heroes, but they drafted and played around beating them, which I think was a very effective strategy. Whereas if you look what Krill did, um, Krill, they banned like 4 or 5 of my heroes in both games, but they still lost. So I almost think that they thought by banning my heroes it would neuter me as a player, which I don't think worked. Whereas I think the fan club, they let me get the heroes that we wanted. They just beat them because they actually played effectively to kind of neuter my impact on the game, right? Whereas same thing, they let Revamp get Witch Doctor. Actually, we just lost with it, right? Like they were just better than us.
Yeah.
But I think overall, for what you're saying, in particular about Revamp's Witch Doctor, yeah, I think most teams should ban it. We win with it all the time. Like it's probably one of the most staple picks that we have, and we seem to win with it constantly. It's probably just a good idea to ban that shit. He's very comfortable with it. But then once again, you kind of go into the previous podcast where it's like, do you ban the comfort or do you ban the meta, right? Because I mean, a lot of teams also ban Revamp's comfort, but then you kind of let us get meta picks with like the Sand King and stuff like that, right? So
There's got to be a balance, but you like you see something with a high win rate despite not being very meta, you kind of gotta like keep an eye out a little bit. That's all I'm saying. For games going forward, I would like to see that a little bit.
for sure, for sure. And just before we close it out, I will say don't know a ton about Warrior this season. I will say that I think R&B has Black Up, and that
Yes, they
team
do.
looks stacked.
I-
That team
Black
is
Up the goat.
100%. He's gonna win. That team is gonna win. I will bet my house on the fact that I think R&B is gonna win.
I forgot.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I forgot who Black Up was.
What?
Yeah, it's been a while. I'm not gonna lie. I
From
got a
helmets on, man. Helmets on.
I got a very swift reminder who Black Up was.
That guy's a goat,
Oh,
dude.
yeah, he is.
Oh my god, he is a goat for his rank.
Sure.
He's a goat.
Just their mid
100%.
player? Black up their mid for
Yeah.
helmets
Yeah.
on?
Yeah, he's their mid. Yeah.
Man, shit's changed in 3 seasons.
He's very good. He's very good. But I also
get-
wanted to quickly mention too about the about what you had mentioned, Vivian, because you talked a little bit about the meta there. I also wanted to throw at you guys that obviously we did get the D patch. There was some nerfs I think that happened that made sense. Like obviously, like a lot of the classic heroes got nerfed. I wanted to see how you guys were feeling about this patch so far. Was did it make sense? The nerfs, were they enough? Did you expect more? Same with buffs. I don't know if someone wants to take it away here.
Well, start
I
with Riley.
expected
Oh,
more.
never mind.
Expected
Let's start
more.
with Jzar.
You expected more, Jzar?
Yeah,
For who?
like, I don't know. I feel like sure some heroes were taken out of the meta. Like I think the Centaur nerf, the Sand King nerf, Wind Ranger is probably the heaviest hit. We're taken out of the meta, but like other than those heroes, it's like almost the same fucking patch. You want mana boots and auras, even though they're nerfed. Most people are still buying Bracer and like just selling it now later. It's doesn't feel very different to me.
That's totally fair. I have more to add actually, but I don't want to dominate the mic time. So Mango, do you have any takeaways from the D patch?
I mean, fuck Gleipnir.
Mhm.
I thought that the Gleipnir meta is probably one of, if not the absolute worst metas this game has ever seen. It took away a lot of the like drafting reasons to get disable CCs and just like general slows and everything on your supports, and made it to where like carries could just like very easily get a damage item that also gave them a stun. And it made pubs and solo ranks and stuff like that absolutely fucking miserable because people could just like lock a Gleipnir hero and pretty much like solo win the game. And it's like just the most nastiest, most fucking team degrading meta this game's ever seen. And so I'm really happy to see Gleipnir getting shit into the ground and making it to where like that burden of needing disables and lockdown is going back to like either just drafting a hero that naturally comes with it on core or getting your supports to like get something with lockdown.
That's I feel like that was one of my big takeaways. I'm very happy about the Gleipnir nerf.
Yeah.
Obviously, like I think everyone feels the same. Fuck Gleipnir.
Yeah.
That item fucking sucks, dude. It was
I
way
hate
too
it.
good at everything. Helped you farm, AoE fucking lockdown. It was just bullshit. Yeah, I don't know. I'm
Vision,
happy that
like-
item is out, dude.
I still see it a lot, but it's like it's a little later now.
Yeah,
And
it's a little later,
it's
and it's
also
not like
as good.
yeah, it's not single-handedly like winning people games and pubs and stuff like that anymore.
Yeah, for sure. What about hero changes? Do you feel like they made sense? Do you feel like a lot of the heroes are still meta, or what are your thoughts on that?
I think they did a fairly good job just with like hero changes. Like I think Wind Ranger got a fair enough nerf. I don't think it was like too extra. I think it was one of the more important ones. Obviously, DK didn't really get too big of a nerf because he's still just kind of like stomping most games, even in the pro scene.
Mhm.
But overall, I'd say it was like a pretty good like D patch. I would have liked to see some buffs as well to go along with the patch because I think there are still some like heroes who have been like just out of the fucking entire pro picture and competitive picture for way too long now, and Valve is just like doing this meandering approach to like pander to certain types of heroes, and you have other heroes that are just like, hey, we still exist. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree for the most part, 100%. I'll wait to give
Mhm.
my opinion, like I said. But Riley, do you have any opinion on the D patch? Do you like what they've done? Do you like the direction they're going here?
I hate the fact that they nerfed Tusk so hard. I find the reducing the cash range to half on drinking buddies when it's all clicked, I think kind of just like guts it. I kind of wish they would have tried to adjust numbers before doing that. I think I don't think like the cash range of like you going to your teammates is what makes it so strong. I think it's actually the numbers, the movement speed, and the damage that it provides. So, and like I really liked the drinking buddies. I was a big fan of it when it first came out. I literally was like, you ask Gav. I literally told him like, man, like if they would just make it so this spell would bring you to your teammate and not drag your teammate towards you, like this would be like the best spell in the fucking game. And lo and behold, they do that, and all of a sudden, Tusk Visage, a strat that we cooked up last season, being Battle God, getting ran at TI, and then they gutted my boy. So I hate it. And also Invoker too. Nerfing my boy with the Ghost Walk regen. They hate me. Valve knows. They know me and they hate me.
Well, I have on good authority that Valve definitely keeps a close eye on the Amateur Dota 2 League. 100%.
That's true.
Yeah.
Definitely we're target banning Riley there for sure.
Oh, really? If that's the case, hey Valve, can you nerf Universal Heroes again, please?
Oh
I'm
my
sick and
God.
tired of like going into mid lane
Please.
against heroes who have like 90 right click off from like level 1. Thank you.
Yeah, you know what? I'm
Please.
gonna talk about what we want from next patch, like the big patch after this actually. But that is something that I really want Universal nerfed for sure. But anywho, Vivian, what do you think about the D patch? Do you think it was a good move?
Um, all of my heroes either got buffed or untouched. So aside from like Sand King,
And Centaur, right? You mentioned Centaur.
well, Centaur got fucked because of bracers. That's not like a hero nerf.
Mhm.
That's just pain.
Yeah, that's fair.
But like I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see where they take the number patch because shit kind of ass.
It's definitely been stale for sure. I would agree. I forget who said it, so I'm sorry. I think it was Mango, but I would agree that I feel like the only thing I don't like about this D patch is that I feel like they actually didn't nerf things enough. I feel like a lot of the things that were good in the previous patch are still pretty good. Like I think auras are still the right thing to do. I think that even bracers, I think on chorus they're still good because what you could do is you just sell them. It's fine.
Yeah.
Like I think on supports it's worse, 100%. But chorus still want to stack the bracers in the off lane, right? But the other thing too, the only hero I think that they nerfed enough and is now a more of a niche pick is Wind Ranger,
Yeah.
which makes sense because it was a very strong pick. But in my personal opinion, this might be a hot take. I think Wind mid is fine. I think you just go focus fire, which is what I was something I was already doing a fair amount on mid Wind. It sucks because of the Glepnir and and also the whirlwind, but I think she could still go focus fire and still have a pretty fine game.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Sand King wasn't nerfed more. That's my own take. I know that he got nerfed a lot, and I know that his win rate fell, but quite honestly, I think that the things that Sand King excelled at before, he still excels at, right? Like I mean, he's gonna max his Sandstorm, he's gonna get his Tail Whip, and he's gonna farm stacks, and he's gonna push up the wave and farm stacks. He's gonna get the same items that he's always gotten, and he's gonna win the game. Right? Like I don't know. Like last week, against Krill Eaters, we first picked Sand King both games. We won both games. And I think Sand King was a big reason as to why. I feel like he got quite farmed in both games. It was a very he did the same thing. Actually, the funny thing, if you check back, the build that I went mid was the exact same build that Pat went off lane. We did the same item build. Legitimately. We went Bloodstone, Blink, Shivas, both games. Totally fine, no problem. I'm surprised that hero was not nerfed more. I think he needed a little bit more tuning down, but that's only my opinion there. So I'm not sure if anyone wants to add further to that, or I'm not sure.
I've still banned Sand King. Like, I agree.
I would also agree. Fuck Sand King.
He's
That
just
hero's
slightly
annoying as shit.
weaker, but he's still, yeah. I was just gonna repeat what you said basically.
Yeah, he still does all the same things that he already did, right? So yeah, I don't know. But to continue with that though, I just alluded to it before there. Obviously, we're gonna get this big patch soon, right? Is there something that you guys really want to see changed that you think is a little bit, I don't know, just kind of annoying? Like I agree with Mango that I think Universal Heroes have to get nerfed. I don't know. I think the two things that were a bit of a mistake was the Gleipnir and the Universal. I think Universal
Yeah.
Heroes are just a little overtuned. I don't know. It's so annoying playing against them because, like you said, they go into lane. They've got like way more base damage. They build so many items that make sense for their heroes, and even later in the game, they feel so strong, right? But
Yeah.
besides that, does anyone else have any further things that they're hoping to see or that they expect to see? Let's start with Jzar.
Oh man, I hope some change to the map maybe, like I don't know, rework Twin Gates, move Roshan. Like just the
Mhm.
map is getting really boring. Like in general, I'd like to see a map change.
Yeah, it's definitely I think the only thing about the map that's kind of lame is that it's so big now that I feel like it can get stale sometimes because people just go into the jungle and it's so hard to catch them because they're just jungling in like one of the 50 different spots that there are on the map to jungle. So it would be interesting to see some map changes. I wouldn't even be opposed. Well, Ice Frog very rarely goes backwards on things, but I wouldn't mind even seeing like a reduction in map size, like even just a little bit. I feel like that could be, I
I
don't
mean,
know, somewhat
they're
interesting.
willing to go back on things like they got rid of those like little fountains that used to be like the base, and
Oh, the shrines. Oh
they really
god,
tried to
dude.
make that shit work. Remember that? Yeah.
Oh,
And
that was so bad for high ground, dude. Oh my god, dude.
yeah, and they realized that those were a mistake. I think like the most annoying fucking thing on the map is watchers. Like, get me out. Like, what the fuck are these things?
Those are
You
I
just
those
feel
are
like
walk
those are
past
pretty fucking
vision.
weird.
You just walk past vision, and it's like, well, fuck. Like, they had that thing.
yeah, and I feel like the vision they give is pretty high. I would almost be okay if they even nerf the vision even more, honestly. Like just make them well, but then I guess at that point then you're really kind of reducing their like what they're doing to almost nothing. But yeah. No, I think a lot of what you said makes a lot of sense though, actually. But Riley, is there anything for next patch that you're really hoping for like a big change, or is there anything you think that is too good that you really want kind of nerfed down or
I hate Vengeful Spirit with a fiery passion. I think Venge is the stupidest hero. You need a 4,200 gold item, and all of a sudden you
so
have
much
so much
better?
impact in the game. Fucking no matter what, your Lucian gets all your abilities, all your damage. I think that hero needs to be nerfed into the ground, dude. I'm so annoyed with killing a Venge who's bad, but she just has 2 lives and 8 spells and just kills me. Shit's so tilting.
I don't know.
Hate that
I've
hero.
gotten so much MMR off of it. That's great.
Yeah, I hope they nerf it into the ground, dude. You give her an Arcana, you keep her relevant. You give Sky an Arcana. Who the fuck's playing Skywrath? Where are my Skywrath buffs, dude? It's like one
Dude,
of my
Buff
I
favorite
agree.
heroes.
No, dude, I agree because okay. I don't know if people know this that this is I because I haven't done it in a while. I'm like a level 24 Sky player because I play Skyrath mid. I used to play Skyrath mid all the time. Then they've nerfed the hero so much that you can't even really pick it. God, please, Ice Frog, buff Skyrath again. Make Skyrath great again, dude. 100%. God, I would love that, dude. What
This
is
guy's
it?
so much fun.
He's so
He's
much fun.
unviable.
Oh yeah, he's a blast for anyone that's not laning against him. He is a lot of fun. 100%.
Hmm.
That's 100%. Is there anything else that you were hoping for besides the
Uh,
bench hanging or
um, not really. Maybe some PA adjustments. Still think it's stupid that she builds 2 items and just insta kill supports. It's kind of annoying. Uh, I'm just a salty person. Jeez, man. I
this is actually
just
just Riley's like part where he just bitches about all the heroes he doesn't like. Nothing to do with Dota
dude.
as a whole. He's just
It's like
complaining
not
about.
even. It's like not even heroes that are good. It's just
Yeah,
like
I know.
Yeah, man.
I mean, that is
There's
also
just
kind of like the basis of PA is like be able to
yeah,
like
I
quickly
know,
kill
man.
squishy heroes.
But
No, but
fuck her, dude.
I think
Like,
Jzar is bang on though. Like you literally just spent the entire time bitching about only things you want, but both of the heroes you mentioned are not even good. Like they're
yeah,
not even the
I know, dude.
Like little win
Every
rate.
see, I don't. You never think they're good until you're a support and you got to play against them in your game, and then it's like it's always the enemy team's Venge, the enemy team's PA that's just insta killing you. The moment the hero's on your team, it's like there's a Herald player on that keyboard, man. It is
That's
crazy.
that's fair. That's fair. I've just never been recently playing against a Venge and was like, "Ah, fuck this Venge hero, dude.
Dude, I ask Frost. I think I was complaining to Frost like 2 days ago. It might have even been yesterday. I was complaining to Benny where I was like, "This Venge hero needs to be taken out of the game, dude. Like, I fucking hate this hero. This hero
That's
is so
awesome.
stupid."
That's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Well, for you, Vivian, is there anything that you are really hoping that they change up for the next big patch here?
Wait, was this me?
Hmm? For you, yeah.
Oh, okay. Um, I'm praying for the same thing I pray for every patch. Make Dazzle support again and not like core bait. I'm so tired. I fucking Dazzle is I think my most played hero, like ever. And I miss Weave. I'm tired of bad juju and good and bad juju and fucking like Poison Bloom's okay, I get it, but then now everyone's building fucking Manta and Blink on them, and then they had to take away the items, but like cooldown reduction from bad juju.
Wait, doesn't he have weave? Is
He has like shitty weave though. It doesn't count.
it's
Yeah,
I
called
like
want the real weave.
it's called weave though, you know?
The real weave. The real
yeah, but
weave gave you like
I
40
think
armor.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It
old
was like way
Dazzle,
more. It was way
iconic.
more armor.
Don't like Dota 1 weave? Like,
Yeah.
oh Jesus.
Well, technically it was like like oh god, that was like a 6 point something. Like he had a weave for a little bit in the old
He,
client before it became Dota Reborn.
I'll tell you, he had weave in Dota 1, and Dazzle and Han had that weave too.
And like there's a point where Ice Rock was clinically insane, and they made Dazzle's Ags give Shadow Wave Dispel. I don't know if any of you remember that.
Oh yeah, yeah, that shit was dumb.
Yeah. That's what
Yeah, I
I
remember
want.
that.
I want Dazzle to be like an actual like support and not just either a Grave bot or a core.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair. Okay. Is there anything else that you were looking for besides? I mean, I'm just saying that was a very Riley take there. Just isolating on one
Because like
one specific
none of
thing.
these
Like,
heroes matter. Nothing matter. It's all the items. All right, here's my hot take.
Buff Rubik.
Here's my hot take, and then we can move on, I guess. Unless you, well, you, I don't know if you answered. I've been shouting from the rooftops that every hero needs their stats fucking gutted. Because this, like, HP pool, like, they started with Bracer, Null Talisman, and the fucking, third thing. I don't know what it is, I don't build it. But, like, they need to actually gut these stats on these heroes. That would be a universal hero nerf. That would fix the HP pool inflation, because somehow every hero getting 4 more HP per strength just fucking like gives everyone 3,000. These items should not give as many stats as they do.
Don't forget
Flat out.
neutral items were introduced, and now everyone has like
It's
an extra stat item all
yeah,
the time.
dude. And plus with
Yeah.
like techies, where now techies can backpack 3 extra items. Lone Druids has the bare necessity.
Yeah, that shit's bad now.
nerfed though. Nerfed.
You can't play that shit anymore.
It doesn't matter.
I would disagree. I would disagree. I think it's still playable actually,
It
but
is
I think it
still
changes the
fucking
timing.
annoying. I think if they want to fix how the meta's been, the stats either need to be reworked inherently, where strength gain either goes back to how much HP it originally gave or less, and items need to be reworked, rebuilt, or removed from the game.
No, let's just add more stuff.
No.
Yeah,
No.
balance through.
We're-
I want everyone to have 10,000 HP.
We're in a meta. I want
Yeah.
you to all keep this in mind. We're in a meta where
meta.
heroes like Undying and Huskar are dog shit because with all the they're pretty fucking dog shit.
The Huskar is fucking sick right now. What do you mean?
Well,
Scar support, baby.
yeah, that's different though. That's not real Huskar.
I
What?
want to see this. I want to
What?
see
This is
Savage
not a
cook
support
with this.
pick. Please
not
don't.
real.
I
push
want to see
this.
Savage cook with this, bro. If there's one thing I want, okay. Oh, beautiful guys, you're against the fan club. I want to see a Savage, Huskar support, and I want to see a fan club offlane Meepo in the same game. Please, please
Holy.
make it happen. Please.
I would
make
That
it
would
actually
love
sounds
that.
like a good matchup against.
Oh
both
my
sides.
dude, all I'm saying is that if anyone from the fan club watches this, please pick offlane Meepo and Benny, Gav, please play the pause for Huskar. In the say I would fucking die, dude.
They
Oh
would
my
give me my support faceless or my support Terrorblade before they did that, unfortunately.
oh, that's so cringe, dude. Oh well. Oh well. But anyway, just to add my own 2 cents lastly here. I won't go too far on it, but I think that it's pretty I think it's a pretty normal take, but I would agree that I feel like the problem I have is that I feel like a lot of heroes are just really hard to kill. It feels like it's very hard to just burst someone or like
But the stats.
instant kill someone.
It's the
Um,
stats.
yeah, it's the stats and it's also a little bit of the items. I do think that with the bracer nerf, it will make it better because I don't think supports will stack bracers as much. But I would love to go back to a time where like the time to kill is like a little bit longer. I just feel like it's a little, or sorry, a little bit shorter. Apologies. I just feel like it's I don't know. It's so hard to just put someone in the ground. It feels like recently. So I would love for that change. But
Just pick co-op, man.
just pick one. Yeah, just go co-op dag on 5, dude. It's so easy, so
Yeah.
easy.
You want to kill some people? Easy.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Well, beautiful. Well, listen, guys. Vivian, unless you have any other questions here, I'm kind of all out here. I fully exhausted my question list. So, if there's no further questions, I think we can kind of wrap it up and let you guys go on with the rest of your night.
Yep.
All right, beautiful. Well, thanks, guys. Good luck with your matches next week, and that's about it for this episode.
Sounds good.
Jeez.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Have a good one.